Okay, here we go again. Another big boatload of releases coming soon. I'm going to let you know what they are. There's some really exciting ones in this collection and maybe some duds as well. We're going to go over them all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about brand spanking new fragrance releases, some niche, lots of designers and other brands as well. And after the outro, I'm talking about 6 new Charlotte Tilbury fragrances that are launching soon as well. I don't know the price points or anything. These are I guess this is not the first time they've launched a fragrance. They've launched one before. Now they've got 6 under Pouge coming very soon. Very unique fragrances. We'll talk about those after the outro. But let's get started with a few rumored fragrances. I'm not 100% sure if these are really launching. But there's a rumored fragrance for Tom Ford called Musk Mistress. What do you guys think about the name on this one? It's a leak, but again, it's rumored. I'm not 100% sure this is really launching. If anybody has any information about this one, do put a comment down below. I have no information, just have heard about it. It's rumored, it's a leak. It's a mock-up photo. Who knows? But like I said, if you have info on it, please put a comment down below so we can find out. The next one is also rumored. It's a leak. Dior is launching an Esprit de Parfum version of Gris Dior. So I think Gris Dior is one of Dior's, Dior Privé's most popular fragrances. So this might be true. We'll see. But again, if you have any info on this, please put a comment down below and let us know. As of late, Gris Dior has gotten really, really popular for Dior. And people have embraced this particular fragrance. So it makes sense that they might start doing these more unique takes on their, long-standing or popular fragrances. But did you guys also know Gris Dior used to be called Gris Montagne before? Let me know if you remember this. Put a comment down below so I can find out. But let's move on to the real announcements. Going to the house of Kayali, Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar 42, created by Gabriela Chelariu, who creates a lot of the fragrances of Kayali. And this one also has Fabrice Pellegrin's name as well. So vanilla seems to be a very popular fragrance for Kayali. This one is Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, and it seems very candy. It's sugar, vanilla, bubblegum, pears, jelly beans, marshmallow, cashmere wood, caramel, rum, tonka, vetiver, jasmine. So much more notes that I wasn't able to add here. But there's a lot going on here. This one seems like a tooth-rottingly sweet, candied, sugary vanilla fragrance. Let's find out how it is. I'm curious to get my nose on it. It's very pink. The bottle's very pink and frosted. Again, you guys know pink is not my favorite color. So hopefully it doesn't smell pink. Well, I shouldn't say that, but we'll get my nose on it and we'll report back on it. But speaking of Kayali, so Mona Katan's sister runs Huda Beauty, and I believe they're launching their first fragrance, once again created by Gabriela Chelariu. It's called Easy Bake, featuring notes of Dreamwood, sugar, pear, gardenia, tuberose, vanilla, coconut, Ylang-Ylang, orchid, jasmine, heliotrope, amber, and moss. So I know nothing about Huda Beauty, although when I've placed orders before on Kayali, it's come from Huda Beauty. So they are connected somehow. So I don't know what this Easy Bake fragrance is all about. I like the name. It reminds me of something from the 90s? Like a toy for a girl? Is that? I don't know. I'm just having these weird flashbacks. But curious to get my nose on this one. This one doesn't seem as sweet candied like vanilla candy rock sugar. But still, it has sugar in the notes as well. Sugar must be a popular note. Is it? What do you guys think? So Maison CRIVELLI is launching another extract, this time not by Quinton Biche. This is by Jordi Fernandez. I believe this is the third Jordi Fernandez extract coming from Maison CRIVELLI. And Jordi Fernandez and also Quinton Biche both work for Givaudan. So it's interesting that he's keeping it with the Givaudan perfumers. And he's done several with Quinton Biche, and now he's doing several with Jordi Fernandez. So this is CUIR, that's not the way to say it, CUIR, Infrarouge. It's one of the most complicated French words for me. It's leather, oud, patchouli, vanilla, iris, cedar, osmanthus, bergamot, cinnamon, raspberry. I'm just hoping it doesn't smell like Tuscan leather. Raspberry kind of gives me that reminder. I'm hoping it's unique. And I've enjoyed the two fragrances that Jordi Fernandez has created for Maison CRIVELLI, Oud Maracuja and Oud Stallion. So let's see how CUIR Infrarouge is. But moving on to the house of Histoire de Parfum, this is not a blue bottle 1.7, created by Julien Rascanet, featuring vanilla, coconut, white musk, sandalwood, rose, lily of the valley, pink pepper, ozonic notes, and frangipani. This one sounds really, really cool. I want to get my nose on this one. And I believe Julien has done quite a few fragrances for Histoire de Parfum. So, although I haven't gotten my nose on all of them, I'd like to get my nose on this one for sure, because it sounds really, really unique, and I enjoy Julien's fragrances. But moving on to Akro, they have a fragrance called Infuse, this time focusing on tea. We already had coffee, dark chocolate. This is a tea addiction. Is it still? Are these fragrances still addictions? Let me know, put a comment down. Doesn't seem like they're addictions anymore. But either way, this is mate, oolong tea, ambroxan, vetiver, osmanthus, bergamot, apricot, magnolia, gaiac wood, and freesia. Seems pretty complex for a tea fragrance. It also features mate and oolong tea, plus osmanthus, which is also consumed as a tea in some parts of the world. And it also has leathery undertones and for sure a stone fruitiness. So curious to get my nose on this one. Is it a fruity take on a tea? Because like I said, osmanthus is fruity, like peaches, apricots, nectarines. It also features apricots as a note, so this can come off peachy apricot-y for sure. Moving on to the house of Loewe, Paula's Ibiza Cosmic. So this is the third flanker in the Paula's Ibiza fragrances. We had two previously, and now we have Cosmic. So this is created by Nuria Cruelles Borul. I think this is the in-house perfumer over at Loewe. It's amber, cedar, coconut, cypress resin, mango, pear, sandalwood, Spanish cistus. I don't know which direction this is. I mean, it seems like it's fruity, but I really like the first one. The second one to me was more beachy, tropical. First one being green, because it was a green fragrance. Green, woody, also a little bit marine, but the second one went sweet and beachy. This one seems fruity on the end. But if you've gotten your nose on Paula's Ibiza Cosmic, do let me know. Put a comment down below. Let's find out what it's all about. I'm curious to get my nose on it. I really enjoy Loewe's fragrances. They're not very similar to other designer fragrances, and I'd like to get my nose on this one. So the House of Molinard is not doing much here in the States anymore. And maybe they have an online presence. I haven't really dug into it. They used to have a distribution for their purple bottles. I have them here, but the camera's not on there. And they were much easier to get those. They had the fig, the vanilla patchouli. They had lavande, which I compared to Lavender Extreme from Tom Ford. But now they have a new fragrance called Iris, Molinard Iris in the purple bottle. It's iris, violet leaves, rose, cashmere wood, cedar, pink, and black pepper, musk. Sounds really, really cool. I really enjoy this collection whenever I travel to the south of France, and also now Paris. In Paris, at the Rue Saint-Honoré, near the Nichanet boutique of all things, there's a Molinard boutique. And I really do enjoy the fragrances of this house, and they have some great ones. If you've gotten your nose on the Molinard Iris, let me know. Put a comment down below. Moving on to the house of Sarah Baker. Sarah Baker's Peaches Revenge. I actually posted an Instagram reel. Actually, we did a live about this fragrance during Aix-en-Provence, and it was definitely a hit. Really, really great fragrance, Peaches Revenge. Once again, created by Chris Maurice. This is the fourth fragrance that Sarah Baker has created with Chris Maurice. And this is a fruit bomb. It's peaches, guava, caramel, nectarine, amaretto, vanilla, orris, cinnamon, ginger, amber, cardamom, and musk. This is a hit. I think this is very popular. It's definitely a fruity gourmand. I think peach might be having a moment in addition to the watermelon, as we discussed recently. But for sure, this is definitely one for you to try, especially if you like fruity fragrances that are, very uplifting, very happy. Moving on to the House of Mugler. It's Angel Phantasm, a flanker to the original Angel, not the one that launched last year that was the white floral Angel. This one seems like a flanker of the original. It's amber, gourmand accord, coconut, fruity notes, patchouli. Patchouli seems to be taking the back seat. I'd like to get my nose on it. I'm a big fan of the original. I'm hoping they did a great job with this one. If you've gotten your nose on it, do let us know. Put a comment down below so we can find out. But next, Molten Brown. Molten Brown seems to be a pretty underrated fragrance house. They're known for their shower gels and bath products. Really great quality things there. But their fragrances are good too. I've done some videos on the brand, and hopefully I'll do an updated video very soon, do like an overview. If you're interested in hearing more about Molten Brown, let me know. But they have a new fragrance, a EDT and an EDP created by Julie Massé, called Sunlit, Clementine, and Vetiver. And mostly the same notes back and forth between the two, but the EDP has leather added to it. So it's moss, vetiver, hazelnuts, figs, clementine, lime, and mandarin orange for the EDT. And finally, similar notes for the EDP, but it's vetiver, suede, moss, hazelnuts, iris, figs, clementine, mandarin orange, and lime. So it's leathery, suedey, so a bit more smoother than the roughness of like regular leather compared to suede leather. Have you gotten your nose on this one? Is it even out yet? I'm really curious to get my nose on this one. I like the idea of combining vetiver with yuzu or grapefruit. I haven't thought about clementines, but I think they'll work too. I think they'll work wonderfully. Those of you that are living in Germany have a much easier time to get your hands on the fragrances of Rammstein. And I'm toying with the idea of ordering some from eBay again, but man, they cost so much more money. Like around $120 for each fragrance when you can only pay like 30, 40 bucks in Germany. If you've gotten the latest release, Nitroglycerin is what it's called. I really like the idea of this fragrance. Do let us know, put a comment down below as what it smells like. But it's grapefruit, bergamot, lemons, cardamom, bitter orange, magnolia, rose, rosewood, geranium, musk, cedar, moss, and vetiver. Do you guys enjoy the fragrances of Rammstein? Let me know. Do you have any? There was a time I was buying a lot of them from eBay and getting them from Europe, but it became a bit difficult, and I'm not going to Germany much to pick these fragrances up. They're like approximately $40 or something, like 40 euros, something like that for these fragrances. And they're pretty quality, I think. Let me know if you're a fan. But moving on to the house of Initio, they have a new flanker to Oud for Greatness called Neo. Is it really a flanker? Oud for Greatness Neo? Featuring notes of bergamot, fir balsam, lavender, orpur, oud, and saffron. I think Oud for Greatness is probably the most popular from this house. I have this strange feeling I think it's their most popular. So I'd like to find out what Oud for Greatness Neo smells like, and we'll see and report back. But I'm excited for this one. I think the last fragrance was a bit of a dud. I thought it smelled really great, but when you start wearing it, it kind of got boring. It's the boozy kind of tobacco fragrance with cherry they launched. But moving on to Ella K. Ella K has a new fragrance called Orchid K, created by Sonia Constant, who creates all of the fragrances for Ella K. It's featuring notes of ambrofix, frankincense, sequoia, vanilla, wild rose, black vanilla orchid, jasmine, magnolia, common marshmallow, oleander, petitgrain, and saffron. Who's a fan of Ella K? I've got a long video coming soon on this house, a huge house overview. Obviously, it's not going to feature Orchid K, but I'm excited for this one. I do enjoy the fragrances of Sonia Constant. But moving on to the house of Michael Kors. Michael Kors has new fragrances, Pour Homme and Pour Femme. I don't care for these bottles. What do you guys think? Ambergris, patchouli, vetiver, geranium, sage, seawater, bergamot, lavender, and pink pepper for the Pour Homme. And I'm a big fan of the original Michael Kors Pour Homme or Homme, the original one that came out in 2001. I still have like a very original bottle and half full. Really love that really intense ambery tobacco fragrance. Amazing fragrance. Really love it. And I haven't bought anything since then for the men from Michael Kors. And I actually enjoyed the very first Michael Kors feminine fragrance as well. I gifted it to my mom when it first launched. It was a tuberose bomb. But Michael Kors Pour Femme features notes of musk, patchouli, vanilla, jasmine, rose, blackcurrant, mandarin orange, and pink pepper. Are these fragrances out yet? Has anybody gotten their nose on them? And what do you think of the bottles? I kind of don't like these bottles. I don't like that whole weird kind of gold and silver things all over the glass. But maybe some of you might like it. But moving on to the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today until the Charlotte Tilbury fragrances after the outro. Acqua di Parma has a new fragrance called Mandarino di Sicilia. I always thought that they had a Mandarino fragrance, but I really like the idea of this fragrance. It's in the blue bottle collection. So they're the eau de toilettes, and they're all very fresh, and they have various different styles. They have a bergamot, of course. They have other citruses. They have the Mirto de Panarea. They have a cypress. And so the Mandarino de Sicilia sounds really great as well. And I thought that they always had a Mandarino, but it was Mandarlo. Is that what it was called? So this is brand spanking new. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I do like Acqua di Parma's fragrances, and I really enjoy the fragrances in the blue bottle collection. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on any of these fragrances so far, and which one are you excited most about? Any from this list or something that I did not discuss yet? Put a comment down below so I can find out. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video on these new fragrances that are soon to drop if they haven't dropped already. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. So as I mentioned, Charlotte Tilbury, who is basically a brand for cosmetics, makeup, and skincare, is launching 6 new fragrances, brand new fragrances. I don't know what the price point is going to be on these. Are they more luxury end, or are they like signature end? They come in these very colorful bottles, and this is after almost 10 years after their first fragrance, which launched in 2016. So 6 fragrances. These are under Puig, who also has brands like Penhaligon's, L'Artisan, so many different brands. I'm forgetting, drawing a blank right now. But Carolina Herrera is under Puig. Jean-Paul Gaultier is under Puig. Dries Van Noten is under Puig. Christian Louboutin, and so many different brands. So now we've got Charlotte Tilbury under Puig as well. So the fragrances are Calm Bliss. First, before I talk about the fragrances, seems they've gone to IFF perfumers because they've used Anne Flippo on many of them, and Juliette Karagözlü on one, and Dominique Ropillon on another. So 2 fragrances with 2 different perfumers, but the rest with Anne Flippo. So Anne Flippo did Calm Bliss, and it features notes of ambergris, cashmere wood, frankincense, palo santo, aquatic notes, orange blossom, bergamot, neroli, provençal, lavender. You know, Anne Flippo does really great white floral fragrances, whether they're the citrus florals or, you know, like tuberose, jasmine, and things like that. She does really, really great work with white flowers. In fact, I like a lot of her work, and one of my favorites of hers lately is Rain Makeda from the House of Rain de Saba. Such an amazing, very, very sexy fragrance. And we'll see how it is here. But the next fragrance, Cosmic Power, created by Dominique Ropillon, features notes of amber, musk, vanilla, frankincense, rose ultimate extract, bergamot, elemi, black pepper, and cinnamon. So sometimes I feel like when I was putting down the notes together for these fragrances, there was overlap with the notes, and I almost thought I was, repeating the fragrance. But they use similar notes, but they're not quite the same when you actually look at all the notes. So Cosmic Power by Dominique Ropillon so far, Calm Bliss by Anne Flippo. So next we've got Joyphoria, once again with Anne Flippo. It's cashmere wood, musk, vanilla, ylang-ylang, jasmine, sambac, tuberose, coconut, neroli, petitgrain. There we go with the white flowers again. She's really an expert with white flowers, although I didn't really care for Angel Elixir, because it wasn't really Angel, right? She did that fragrance with another perfumer, I believe, but they totally killed the original Angel, and they gave us something like a white floral bomb. But I know she does really great work. She did Synthetic Jungle. Absolutely love it. And of course, Rain Makeda by the House of Rain de Saba. Absolutely love. But moving on to Love Frequency. Once again, Anne Flippo. This is amber wood, cashmere wood, musk, patchouli, saffron, rose, ultimate extract. I guess it's called rose ultimate extract, rose essential, and pink pepper. So this seems like a more of a rosy fragrance, maybe like a chypre because it's got patchouli. Moving on to Magic Energy. That's once again Juliette Karagözlü. Is that how you say her name? It's a tough name. It's a very long last name. But this is not, once again, I shouldn't say this is the first time we're hearing her name. It's ambergris, cashmere wood, frankincense resin, palo santo, cypress, fucus absolute, jasmine, sambac, bergamot, myrtle. This one sounds really, really good. The fucus absolute and the myrtle. I love myrtle in fragrances. I don't know if you guys know this note. Remember I mentioned Mirto de Panarea from, not Penhaligon's, but Acqua di Parma. It's the same note. It's kind of a peppery, floral, herbal, aromatic kind of note. I really like the smell of the actual flowers when you smell them. So Magic Energy sounds great from Charlotte Tilbury. Last but not least, More Sex. That's the last fragrance I'm talking about. Created by Anne Filippo. And this is the fourth fragrance she's created. It's musk, New Caledonian sandalwood, woods, aldron, ambroxan, leather, musk, black pepper, and juniper berry. The other fragrances sound great. Let's see how unique and original they're going to be. I'm curious. The bottles are pretty interesting, very colorful. They match the brand. In fact, they match the bottle of the first fragrance that they had launched back in 2016. So it has a similar look, but they're a bit more updated. And I'm not really familiar with Charlotte Tilbury in general. I've seen the name come up so much. I've seen commercials on television, ads on the Instagram, Facebook, and places on YouTube. And so I've looked it up. It's basically skincare, makeup, and beauty. And so now they're, launching six fragrances for this house, and all created by IFF perfumers. And of course, 4 of them by Anne Filippo. Then we had the Dominic Ropion and Juliette Karagozoglu. So 6 fragrances. If you've gotten your nose on these, let me know. Who's selling them? Most likely they're going to be online sales, unless there's a Charlotte Tilbury stand somewhere in some department store or something. But I really want to get my nose on these, and hopefully I will, and report back on them. Hopefully they're not going to be really expensive, because I also wanted to get my nose on the new Estee Lauder Frederic Malle, collaboration thing they did. They're very expensive. They're almost $300 each. Are they worth that price? I hope these are going to be not that expensive. But with the way things are going with fragrances, I have this feeling that these are going to be around $300, because Puig, who is distributing this brand's fragrances, launched fragrances for Christian Louboutin, and those were around $300 each. In fact, they're probably more. So I have this strange feeling these are going to be expensive. I hope they're not. But let me know if you have any details on them. Put a comment down below, and that's all I have for you today. Stay tuned for another video soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.